Everybody grabbing out there. Nobody tackling. Just grabbing, everybody. Grab, grab, grab. Nobody tackling. Put your shoulders in there out there.
Vince Lombardi's passion for perfection made a small community in the Midwest a synonym for team excellence. In Green Bay, Wisconsin, on December 31st, 1967, the temperature was 15 degrees below zero. Lombardi's Packers and the Dallas Cowboys battled each other and the elements in a cruel rite of manhood that would decide the championship of the National Football League. Had the Packers won this game easily, as it first appeared they would have been remembered as the team of the 60s. But by winning the game as they eventually did, they became a team for the ages because the character of their performance surpassed the achievement itself.
Starr takes the ball, backpedals, looks downfield, flips a short pass, complete to Anderson. He's at the 35. He moves to the 30-yard line, and it will be very close.
Trailing by 3 points with time running out, the Packers drove 68 yards across the frozen field and into legend.
He flips the pass. It's complete to Chuck Mercine. He's at the 25, the 20, down to the 15, and out of bounds at about the 11-yard line. Starr takes the snap. It's to Mercine. Pops up the middle, the 5. He's inside the 5 to the 2-yard line. Bart Starr coming over to check with Coach Vince Lombardi. 20 seconds remaining in this football game. The Packers inches away from something that has never before happened in pro football history. A third straight NFL championship. The Packers come out of the huddle. Starr begins the count. Takes the snap. He's got the quarterback thinking he's into the touchdown. The Packers are out in front. And the Green Bay Packers are going to be world champions, NFL champions for the third straight year.
In the 1960s, Vince Lombardi's Packers came close to perfection.
History has been made.
In the 1970s, Don Shula's Miami Dolphins achieved it. In 1972, the Miami Dolphins became the first and only team in NFL history to go through an entire season unbeaten and untied. The Dolphins were a team whose strength was in its balance rather than brilliance. Fullback Larry Zonka, number 39, was the power gear in Miami's grinding, steady, mistake-proof offense. They conquered the Washington Redskins in the Super Bowl and ended the year with 17 wins and no defeats. For one season, no team was ever better than Don Shula's 1972 Miami Dolphins. For 40 years, no team was ever as bad as the Pittsburgh Steelers. Their offense was so pitiful and their misfortune so perverse that not once in 4 decades could they win even a division championship. Each game was a comedy of errors, with Pittsburgh's opponents stealing the last laugh. But this sad story became ancient history when Chuck Noll became head coach of the Steelers. In 4 years, he rebuilt the team, and in 1972, the Steelers made the playoffs for the first time. For connoisseurs of destiny, it was a day to remember.
And Bradshaw back and looking again. Bradshaw running out of the pocket, looking for somebody to throw to, fires it downfield. And there's a collision. It's caught out of the air. The ball is pulled in by Franco Harris. Harris is going for a touchdown for Pittsburgh. Harris is going
The immaculate reception of Franco Harris marked the beginning of Pittsburgh's rise to power. In the following years, they would win more games and win more Super Bowls in more different ways than anyone ever thought possible. Like snowflakes, no two Steelers seasons were ever alike. In the mid-70s, they stopped their opponents with pure physical strength and ran over them with an offense rooted to the brute power of Franco Harris, number 32. In the late 70s, the Steelers elevated football to a higher level, with Terry Bradshaw throwing to John Stallworth and Lynn Swann, number 88. Pittsburgh passed over teams they used to run through. The Pittsburgh Steelers made up for 40 years of defeat with a decade of victory. A decade unequaled for sustained excellence. 8 straight playoff appearances, 4 Super Bowl championships. The Pittsburgh Steelers of the 1970s, the best team ever.